Hey guys, welcome back to Oregon Fishing. I want to start off by saying thanks to all my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting the channel. And thanks to everybody who's viewed and liked the videos as well. I appreciate everything. Also, if you guys see any content that you like, feel free to leave comments below letting me know what you like, and if you have any suggestions of something I should try, let me know in the comments below as well. I appreciate all your feedback and anything that I can do to help improve the channel for you guys. I'm going to help do that, as well as just bring you guys along just for, my own fishing adventures and my own just pleasure of being in the outdoors, So anyways, we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we are actually going to look at my favorite spinners. We're going to look at my top 5 favorite spinners, and this isn't going to be necessarily just my top 5 just individuals. We're going to go over my top 5 favorite brands of spinners and why I like them and when I use them. They're all kind of similar, but all of them have different uses. They definitely come in handy for different scenarios. So we're going to dive down into that. We're going to take a closer look at the lures that I like to use. And if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about inline spinners and which ones to use, stay tuned for this video. Alright, so the first lure we got up today is the Rooster tail by Yakima bait. This is one that a lot of you guys should be familiar with. They've been around for years and years, and they've been proven successful from just lots of people fish these. So I use 2 primary sizes. I use the 1/16 ounce and the 1/8 ounce. I usually have a pink 1/8 ounce, but I lost it the other day, so I'll have to replace it. They all share the same type of blade. It's all willow blade, and they all are dressed. And that is one of my favorite things about the Rooster tail spinners in particular. I think that dressing provides a lot of extra action in the water when it's coming through, especially if you're coming through and you pause it for a second. Usually the hairs will flare out a little bit and it creates a different look for it, and sometimes that can entice a bite. So I primarily like using these in rivers and streams, but if I use it in a lake, what I'll try to do is, if there's an inlet or a current in that lake, I will try to fish it along that, because what I find with these is typically you're going to want a faster retrieve. If you do a slower retrieve, sometimes the blade will stop spinning properly, and you won't quite get the action you're looking for. So I think it works a little bit better with a current or with a faster retrieve, but they're super effective. I've caught so many countless fish on these over the years. I've been using them since my childhood, and I will probably use them forever. So if you guys have not used Rooster tails, definitely check them out. Alright, next up is a lure that you guys may not have heard of. So these are actually called Joe's Flies. These are super strikers and these are short strikers, and I really love these. So if you can't tell, obviously basically all it is a Colorado blade, and these work fantastic for a slow retrieve. If you guys want a lure for a slow retrieve, these Colorado blades on these, you can just retrieve at any speed you want and they will definitely spin, like for sure. So all of them have a fly tied of different colors and sizes. This is an olive woolly bugger. This is a woolly worm. They call this a trout poacher. A few other ones, I got a chartreuse, and these are weighted bodies. These are 1/8 ounce. This is 1/16, and these are non-weighted bodies. So these are ultra lightweight for shallow water, or if you're wanting to keep it on the top of the water. So these are really fantastic for that, especially like if it's early morning and you want to throw a spinner that you can keep right on top of the water, and it kind of looks like, a fly imitation. So you have the extra flash of the blade, and also all of these have a treble trailer behind them. So it has the single hook for the fly. Each fly has its own single hook, and then there's a trailer with the treble attached to each one. And that is one of the features about these lures that's nice. If you get a fish that's shorter striking, which is also why they call these short strikers, if you have a fish that comes up and just tries to swat right at the end of it, you can oftentimes hook them with the treble that's on the end. Or if they take it all the way down, most of the time they'll actually get hooked with the hook on the fly instead. So these are a fantastic lure. They're very versatile. These will go down a little bit deeper, obviously, because they're weighted, but it's just different presentations for different things, basically. And Joe's flies, they're not the easiest to find, but I do think that they're a lure worth having in your tackle box. And once you start fishing them, you'll definitely find out why. Alright, so we're moving on to another lure a lot of you guys should be familiar with, and I really hope you're familiar with these. So these are the MEPS lures, and man, I can't tell you, these things have caught me so many fish over the years. I've used these my entire life, just like the Rooster tails, and these are some of my favorites right here. And so I have 3 different sizes: the 0, the 1, and the 2, and this one has kind of a fly imitation, so this one's almost similar to the Joe's fly in a way with that aspect, except there's no treble trailer. All of these use what is called a French style blade, and I think that the French style blade create really good action in the water. You can use any kind of retrieve you want. You can use a slow retrieve, you can use a fast retrieve. Whatever you do, these spinners will react to it. And that's one thing I love. I also, as you can see, I'm kind of going with the dressed thing. I really do like dressed spinners, and it's what I use a lot of the time. I have a couple you'll see here coming up that are not dressed, but these work fantastic. This is the Black Fury, and these two are the Aguila, I believe is how you pronounce it, or Aguila, something like that. But these work fantastic. I mean, I can't really say enough good things about MEPS lures. If you guys haven't checked them out, they're a lure that's really worth checking out. Pretty much these are the main styles that I go for, and these colorways. This has a copper blade, this is a black blade, and obviously a silver blade. So it's kind of interesting that they do have ones that have gold blades, but they use a copper, which I think creates a little different action. You can use it in the same kind of situations that you would use a gold blade, like say on the dimmer lights and whatnot days. But I also find that the copper blade has a really good reflective quality on days that there's pretty good light out too. So, and another thing that I like about the MEPS, do you see these ridges here on the body itself? So if you like to use scents like I do, I like to put my scent right here in these little ridges, and I find that that's like the perfect place, and it holds kind of in those little ridges of the lure, and it helps the scent stay on longer, in my opinion. So that is the MEPS lure. Check them out. They're fantastic lures. Alright, so next one up, we got the Panther Marten. Panther Martens are fantastic. It's another lure I've been using my whole life, and these things have caught me a lot of fish too. So they have their own kind of blade. I believe that it's just particular to Panther Marten. I don't know if they have a certain style or name for it, but they work really good, I can tell you that. They work great on a slow retrieve, they work great on a fast retrieve. The Panther Martens, they're just something that work. Just plain and simple, they're something that work. As you can see, I have a couple here that are not dressed. I also have this. This is the 1/16th, but I also have it in the 1/8 size, which is like this guy here. I use the black one here on darker day, or cloudy days basically, or anything where there's not a lot of light. This hammered gold, works fantastic on cloudy days too. The hammered gold works really good, and this is just a colorway that I've used from them for years that works pretty well for fishing for rainbow trout in my area. And so these are the primary Panther Martens I use. I also do like the one that's similar to this, except for it has the yellow body with the black dots. I do like that one as well. I just don't have one at the moment. But Panther Martens, they're a good all-around lure. They cast really well. That's actually, I think, probably one of my favorite things about the Panther Marten versus some of the other lures is the castability on Panther Martens is fantastic, and actually comparable to the next lure we're going to talk about, which will be the Blue Fox. And so the Panther Martens, they're just something that if I want to be able to get a long cast out, be able to work the retrieve at different rates, slow, fast, whatever, there's something that I can do that with. And they have a lot of feedback from the blade itself, so you know when it's spinning. You can feel it through the rod, you can feel it in the reel, and if it stops spinning for any reason, if it gets caught up or whatever, you know. If a fish bites it and you can't feel it spinning anymore, you know it's time to set that hook. So that's one thing I really like about them. They're very reactive, they create a lot of vibration and noise, and they're just a fantastic lure. So alright, let's move on to the last one. Alright, so the last lure that we got here is going to be the Blue Fox spinners. A lot of you guys should be familiar with these. These are the classic Vibrex ones, and this is a newer one that's more for heavier bodies but running it more shallow. I don't know exactly what style blade this is called, but I believe that the classic style Blue Foxes are Indiana style blade. Correct me if I'm wrong. They also use bigger hooks than most of the other spinners. As you can tell, these are 1/8 ounce, and they definitely have bigger hooks than all of my other 1/8 ounce that I throw. A lot of people like to switch these out for either a single hook or a smaller treble hook. I have chosen not to do that. I like them for trying to get a little bit bigger fish. You have a little bit bigger hook, usually the smaller fish aren't going to bite it as easily. So I like that. The red blade is a newer one to me, but I got it to try it out. I really like it. It works pretty well when it's sunny or cloudy. It seems to have just a nice color, like how it's coming through the water and it looks with the silver and gold body. It works really nice together, I think. And the fish type bodies, they work really well. I mean, pretty much anybody who's fished an inline spinner has fished a spinner at some point that has a fish type head look to it. And Blue Fox makes a style where it's more of just like the fish head, but these ones have their patented Vibrex system like most Blue Foxes have. They have a bell, they have a two-piece body, so they have kind of a bell thing going on in here where the body moves around inside and creates that vibration in the water. So instead of just having the vibration from the blade, you also have vibration coming from the body. So that's another thing that makes these really useful, is they work really good for when you're trying to get that reaction from the fish. If they're a little bit more lethargic or something, you may be able to get them to strike on something that's making a little more noise, and you know, it has a little bit bigger blade, so it gives a little bit different presentation to the fish. And that's key when you're fishing, of course, is always being able to switch up your presentation. So this is my last lure, and I'll check right back in with you guys here in a sec. Alright, thanks for watching today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. If you guys want to see more of this, drop a like for me, leave a comment below, and if you guys use any of these lures yourself, let me know. If you have your own favorite color or something that works really well, let me know what colors are your favorite. If you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, maybe I could do something about my crankbaits or my favorite soft plastics. I could go over that. I just wanted to start with this because inline spinners are something I've used for a long time. They're something that I know works really well, and they're something that I'm sure a lot of you guys use. So If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks again to all of my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. And I'm going to keep trying to make better and better content. My last couple videos were in 720p, but I'm back to the 1080p videos now. I was doing it in 720p to see if it helped with my editing at all on that side, and it didn't really make much of a difference. So I think we're just going to keep doing the 1080p, keep the video qualities higher for you guys, because it seems like you guys like that. So we'll keep up that 1080p video, and until next time, I'll see you again.